Straw Hut Media.
Like when I lived in New York, everyone's like, "You're so thin." I'm like, "Thanks."
From Straw Hut Media, this is Brandi Glanville Unfiltered.
Hi, James.
I wish I had no sleeves on so you could see my pits.
Ew.
Some people find that really sexy.
I've just posted a picture of your pits on my Instagram.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
I have
that's the one.
vaginal pits.
Vaginal pits.
Because there's a tumor over here that took out, and so that's all like, it's all like a vag.
Is this the intro?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, I didn't know. Vaginal pits. Okay, so I'll tell you what I have vaginal of. Under my kneecap, there's always like, it looks like vag, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have a little
1000%.
over my kneecap. There's nothing you can do about that. Did you know that?
No, it's not even bad. It's like, it looks like a really like nice one.
Do you want to go to Holloway House with me on Sunday?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay, and then my friend Eva Marcel's coming in.
When does this come out? Did we just tell everyone where we're going to be on Sunday?
It's a private club. You can't get in. So sorry.
I love that you're wearing your blade hat. How did we work that into the conversation last time?
Because Bryn had her blade cap on for New York Housewives, so I thought this is an ode to Bryn.
You're really getting obsessed with Bryn.
I like her.
I like her a lot.
I like her a lot.
Oh my god. How do we get her on this show or be her friend?
We'll figure it out. But so today from Summer House, I know a lot of the people on Summer House, and I like most of them. So we're having this sweet, cute little girl, Samantha.
She's really pretty.
She's a little
she's a
little Barbie.
Earlier. I don't know what Summer House is until just this morning, and they're really hot. I'm going back to watch it straight after this. I know Brandi's rolling her eyes at me.
You have to be prepared. Like, you need to know what happened with her. It's very...
Sometimes she hits me when no one's watching.
It's just called a freshie. It's sweet. It's what they do in Australia.
I heal easily. I don't have any deficiencies, so my bruises go quite quickly.
Yeah, it's because I put iron and antibiotics in his milkshakes in the morning.
So then she can do it. Yeah, exactly.
Just to make sure he's not going to give me any venereal diseases. Not that we're
oh my
sex.
god!
That's what I thought.
One time.
I thought about doing that with this guy that I know like fucks around a lot, but he like smoothies in the morning, and I thought I would just sprinkle a little antibiotic in there without telling him.
I used to put a bit of Xanax in my partner's drink because I just wanted a break. Sometimes he was so high energy, and then he would just have the loveliest sleep. Like Sunday afternoon, he'd be gone from about midday till about 5, and then I'd be like, "Hey, you want some dinner?" And then let's go to bed again.
You know what I used to do with my children? So
we really admitting all of this? Why? These microphones are horrible.
My kids are like men, and they shit like men. I can't even talk about it. So I would put a Swiss Crisp in their milk, in their shakes that I would make them a smoothie.
What do men shit like first?
Well,
okay, sorry, let's not even go there. People will turn off.
Like they were clogging my toilets constantly. So
okay.
Swiss Crisp is that like a natural what do you call it?
Diuretic.
No, a natural
laxative.
Yeah, I used to put them in their smoothies so that we would not have to like clog up the toilet constantly, because I had to plunge it and I would throw up. Anyway, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Samantha.
We can transition that
out. Samantha, and guess who's here in studio?
Butters.
Hi, Butters. Come on up. What are you doing? Come on up. You can do it. He's cute. He'll make a debut with the Housewives. He really has stuff to say about that. So let's bring Samantha on from Summer House and find out if Kory's dick is big. You're a New Yorker.
Yeah, I am. So I'm from New Jersey, but I've lived in New York since I graduated from school.
It's funny because you remind me of myself, not just because you're pretty. Because you wear like not New York clothes. Like you wear bright colors and different things. And my friends used to call me Rainbow Bright because everyone wears black in New York. And she's like, she stands out. She's blonde. She's bubbly. She wears bright colors. And I'm like, I love her.
Looks fresh. I love it.
People always ask me if I'm from the South because they tell me I give Southern belle. And I'm like, well, thank you. I'm honored. It doesn't really go with the bitchy personality, but like, yes.
You're not bitchy. You could just be like, oh, bless your heart. It means go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think you're bitchy, but let me fix my hat. Why do I have to wear these fucking headphones?
Don't look at you. Just look at me.
I know. So I'm just giving you a disclaimer. I've had an allergic reaction to God knows what. So my whole bottom of my face and my lips are swollen. And I mean, I do get fillers in them, but not like this.
It's not just a line.
No, fuck off.
No, it's real. I've been there.
No, but I've been spitting and I'm not enunciating words properly. But I am a huge fan of Summer House. And I made him watch it because he doesn't really watch shows.
And I was like, why haven't I been watching this show? Everyone's hot. I mean, I would have been watching if I would have known. It's just they've been throwing so many other shows on where I'm like, what do I care about these people for? Summer House I can get into.
Right, because everyone's attractive.
Yes. No, I want to be there with them. I love it.
Kyle kind of invited me to his 40th birthday, and then he invited Ryan Lochte, and I got the uninvite because I would be the oldest one. And I was like, I love Kyle and Amanda. I love them.
Yeah, love Kyle. I wish you were at the party. That was like the best party of the year last summer.
I know. And I'm like, however old I am, going on 20. I act like a child.
Right.
So wait, they uninvited you for being too old?
No, he didn't. He didn't say it, but then he invited Ryan Lochte, and then he was like, never brought it up again. I was like, maybe I'm just too old for that
like
show.
The fade away.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's get on to how did you come onto the show? I kind of know, but let's get into it.
So I was friendly with Amanda. You, understanding New York, know that like the world here is so small. There's a million of us, but since we're all packed into like downtown New York, you just run in the same circles, especially because Amanda's a creative. I've always been a creative. I've worked in journalism, marketing, social media, that kind of stuff. So we had just like kind of run in the same circles. And she was like, I kind of feel like you're my husband, but 25 and a girl. And I was like, I don't know if that's a compliment.
Yeah,
as someone who like doesn't know your husband. I was like, I don't know what that means, but I was like, I know he's, basically the subject of like a social experiment on TV. So it means something. And she was like, why don't I introduce you to some of my friends? I really think you'll fit in. And it was a match made in heaven.
Oh, so Amanda brought you onto the show. She was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. I mean, because a lot of times girls don't want to bring pretty young girls on the show because they get jealous. But Amanda's not like that.
Amanda was like, first of all, she's like such a big sister type. Like, I have never like seen jealousy come from her. She's so kind. She's so warm. She like took very good care of me. But also I was like, she's locked down. So like, there's no competition at all. I was like, all the boys are for me.
She's like, yeah, smorgasbord.
yeah, seriously.
Well, when you did come on, I think that you were a little nervous because you were incessantly talking. But I have, like, for me, like, I felt it was being on camera probably for the first time, like, knowing that the world is watching and you want to say something to fit in because you can't be a fly on the wall. But I just felt like you were nervously talking. I didn't feel like that was who you were. What do you think?
Totally. I think there are two reasons that I talk a lot. Reason number one is I'm nervous. I don't know you yet. I'm trying to find things to like relate to you on. So the more I spit out, the more likely you are to pick something up. And then the second reason I talk too much is I'm way too comfortable around you. And I feel like I can just keep going. That was definitely more of a nervous one.
Yeah.
I mean, 30 seconds prior to walking into that house, I had gotten out of a car by myself. I traveled in by myself. I think I was the only one who came in alone too.
That's nerve-wracking in and of itself, walking in to a house filled with cameras by yourself.
That would be me. I speed up a mile a minute when I'm nervous, or if I really know you, I'm all caffeinated, but I get it.
Yeah. And I mean, those cameras are so big. Like, yeah, there's the surveillance ones in the corner, but like I'm getting out of this car and it's way taller than me and it's like humongous and it's like 4 feet away from me. And I look straight at it. And the guy's like,
don't look at the camera. We're not here. You're like,
okay.
You're 100, feet tall and have a giant camera, but you're not here.
Yeah, you're the most here person out of all of us. Yeah.
It definitely takes some getting used to it. Did you find that eventually you kind of forgot about them?
Totally. I like literally by the next morning. I mean, they're just so all over you and everyone is there's so much to do. There's so much engagement happening. You're talking to this person, then you're jumping in the pool, then you're making dinner. There's always like an activity. So, you're so hyper focused on all of the things that are happening that it ends up being, they just fade into the background. And I think that's hard to believe when you see it from an outside perspective, where you're like, come on, like there's 4 guys around you with like the biggest cameras I've ever seen, but it really fades away. I mean, the camera guys are not really talking to you. They're just watching. But the weirdest is when you're like alone having a conversation and then suddenly like silently a bunch of camera guys like scurry up to you and like, you're like, oh, I just started talking about something interesting. Like, got it.
Exactly. They run over to you, or you're drowning in the pool and they don't come help you because they don't exist. You're like, ah! And they're just standing there.
Like, we heard every word you said about that makeout when you were drunk, but we can't hear you crying for help.
Sorry, we don't. They really say they don't exist. Like, my son was freezing. I had a cast on, and he was like shaking, and I'm like, can someone get me a towel? And they were like, and I couldn't run in a cast and get my 2-year-old baby a towel, but that's okay. It's whatever. I did feel a certain sort of way when, I forget her name, she pulled you aside to tell you to basically stop talking. What was her name?
Yeah, Maya.
Okay, I felt like it wasn't coming from a genuine place because she knew she was on camera, and it was just very passive aggressive. And she knew, even though she pulled you aside, when you pull someone aside, you're mic'd and you still know you're on camera. No matter what, especially when you pull someone aside, they're listening. So how did you feel about that? Because my heart kind of went in my stomach. I'm like, she's new, she's nervous, and now you're going to make her super uncomfortable. She's going to be afraid to talk. So what was your take?
Yeah, I think at the time, Maya was like, I'm pulling you aside to protect you because all these other people are talking shit about you behind your back. And it is worse to find out that everyone's talking about you behind your back. So I definitely am the kind of person who I'm like, I appreciate you approaching me and telling me what's going on in the house. But I agree, obviously then I'm going to cry and be so nervous. I just feel like.
Hold on 1 second, honey.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We just can't see you anymore. Oh, there we go. Okay, we can see her. She's just a bit frozen.
She kind of looks like Kristen Bell.
She looks gorgeous.
Oh, I get that a lot.
Oh, shit.
Oh, now she's hideous. She's hideous.
I also get Kelly Ripa a lot.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. A really young.
Remember
Kelly
when she
Ripa.
was on
Or Reese Witherspoon, Ava Philippe.
Yeah. Oh, Ava Philippe.
Ava
yes,
Philippe?
it's her daughter. She's gorgeous and they look very similar.
They do I don't think you look like Reese, though, but I think her daughter does look exactly like her.
Kelly Ripa, when she was back on that show, what was that show where
I'm sticking with Kristen Bell. Anyway, go on.
Oh, okay, fine.
So when she pulled you aside and told you that, knowing she was on camera, you thought it came from a good place and you cried. She was making TV, honey. It wasn't from a good place, but go on.
Yeah. So I think here's the thing about me is I'm the kind of person who I'm going to try, right? I'm not going to be too cool for anybody. I'm not chill. That's just not who I am. So I'm going to try to make friends. And I thought it was it was clear that I was coming from a good place. So if people are talking shit and have a problem with me trying to make friends, then don't be my friend, whatever.
Or say it in the moment. Calm down, honey. I know you're nervous, but I always say when my friends overtalk, is this going to be a long story? And then
that's what I say. I say, honey, have you got any short, boring stories?
But it's a funny way to be you can just kind of funnily do it without I think she made a scene out of it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I definitely was this is so nice. She's trying to protect me. I'm just emotional. But I do feel over time, just looking back on it, thinking about myself in a reverse role, if I were in that position, I don't think I would ever do that to someone. Nope. And I know how it made me feel, and it made me feel so small and stupid and I shouldn't be there. So for the next 3 weeks, if you were in that house, people were are you good? You're not being annoying anymore. And I was all right, well, that was the goal.
Well, because you were afraid to talk.
Right, exactly. I was I'm not going to interject anymore if it's not wanted. So it definitely hurt more watching it back. Especially because, what you don't know in real life is that like 5 minutes prior, she and Sierra were in a bedroom behind closed doors, like making fun of me. So like that doesn't feel good. And then it makes it feel less genuine when you watch it back.
Was it
So,
almost like going
it
to
is what
like,
it is.
do you feel like you kind of were going to a new high school and like some of the girls
Oh,
were really
yeah.
inviting and then some who was super inviting and then who was like, oh God, a new girl?
I really felt like Amanda was excited to have me there. I felt like Lindsay was so excited to meet me and have me there. Um, and Paige was really like
Sweet.
from like the get-go, very warm and welcoming. Um, I definitely had a slower start with Sierra. She just was like, I'm not warm and fuzzy right off the bat, which is very different from me. Like, I'm just like I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna like ask you questions about your life. I like want to talk. I want to get to know you. And she was kind of like, it takes me longer. I have a really small circle of friends, and like once you're in it, I trust you. I think she said like eyes closed, back turned. But she was like, I'm a little slower to warm up. And that's fine, but it definitely wasn't like a welcoming vibe.
On TV, like these TV for like you do get burned by people that come on the show. Like you'll be like, oh, I really like this person, and then they'll like throw you under the bus and you don't know it. So I just think she's more of a slow burn. I really like her, but she definitely is quiet and she's more of an observer than like she has like, she trusts like two people. But you guys also like the same guy, so that didn't help.
Right. I'm sure later on down the road that threw a wrench in everything too. Because I don't know, I wasn't gonna back off just because she was slow, because I wanted to be her friend too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept kind of engaging and trying to be friends, and then of course Kory comes along. My attention got diverted, and I think it wasn't the best thing for like probably building a friendship, but that's how it worked out.
Yeah, but they weren't anything. I mean, they were just like they were flirting, they were friends. I was like, if one of my girlfriends likes the same guy that I like, I'm like, may the best woman win.
Yes.
Like,
you can't call dibs on people in
Right,
life. Or else, like,
exactly.
if my friends did that to me, there would be no one available. Like, it would just be.
You can't like him. You can't like him.
Yeah, you can't own people.
But so, are you and Kory still hanging out?
Yeah, we are. I'm actually going on Friday morning to visit him again. Yeah, we're good. This is obviously a long distance relationship. I've been in one prior to this that was like not so good. So I was a little bit nervous going into it, but it's been great. And I think I learned that like it's more about the person than like where you are in the world.
Okay, so I have a little tea that I did hear because I know a few of the people on your show, and
Okay.
somebody told me that you guys are faking the relationship so that you can stay on the show.
Someone from the show said that?
Yes.
Well, I would love to do that is eventually so I can figure out who my friends are. But if it were fake, I probably wouldn't be spending $500 every other week to visit him in Charlotte. And he probably wouldn't, be like spending my birthday with my whole family. I don't know.
Which jealous bitch do you think that was?
Well,
Ooh.
I know who it was, but I think people, when it comes to TV, people think, oh, they just want to stay relevant. They want to stay in the show. There's always rumors. But I mean, if you are seeing him still, I need to know, is his dick a 10 out of 10?
Like an 11 out of 10.
Wow.
Ooh.
And like part of the reason is it gives like a little bit of a little curve situation. So it just like,
Is that good?
Every time.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It is the right spot. And she's like a little horn dog on the show. She just loves boys. And then it did really seem genuine. And he is the hottest guy on the show,
Look,
I will
if
say.
it was a setup,
most.
I think that's quite smart, actually, if I'm wanting to get back on the show.
I mean, they're
But
both hot.
Now that I've heard about the curve, I mean, I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't like, I'm a little riled up about that. I love when people drop tea.
When you were on Watch What Happens Live, I forget, he was in the audience, right?
Yeah.
That is around the time I heard the gossip.
Got it. Well, then people would know now that it's kind of a losing game. You can't really do anything to stay on these shows.
Well, you can.
I actually think it would be better for our longevity on the show if we were single, because the house is full of couples.
No, because they want to see, babe, they want to see you break up and fight and fuck other people. Trust. They love a showmance. They love it. But I don't want that for you. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I totally hear you. Yeah, I mean, it's my understanding that this show is full of couples, some of whom already do that. So I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry. I feel like I threw you off, but I mean.
No, you didn't. I'm just processing. I'll be doing some investigative work shortly after this to see what I have to do to whom. But
I know a lot of people on that show.
I think it would be really clear if it was fake. Like we spend a lot of time together. We're so invested in each other's like friends and family and careers. Like we post content together all the time. Like if this were fake and empty and like I didn't feel like it was going anywhere, I would not be advertising it like that. Knowing that like for me, I'm prioritizing my real life relationships, not, being on TV. So that would be secondary to me.
I see that with you because it's our first go around on TV, and like I just feel like some are professionals and they're like, okay, so I'm gonna get in this showmance and we're gonna break up and then I'm gonna, cause a fit and say you don't even make me a sandwich. I know you don't watch the show, but that was Lindsay. How many sandwiches have you made me?
It's hilarious.
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
So where does he live at the moment then? You're doing long distance, you were saying?
Yeah, he lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. So it's a really easy flight, but a very different world from what we're doing here in New York. Well,
that's kind of nice, though. At least you're the one in New York with all of the endless possibility in New York. And I mean, if you do it right, like what you were saying, it's about the person. Really, I think it's quite nice. Some of the best times I've had in a relationship was when my partner was on location away, because then you get a chance to miss them. And when you see each other, it's like having that like beginning relationship vibe every time. You can miss them a little bit. No one wants to be in your face all the time. Yeah. You can get sick of anyone when they're in your face.
It also keeps it very sexy.
Yeah, you don't have to like, they don't want to see you wash your face or pick a pimple or go to the bathroom, God forbid. Like, that's why I feel like I'm just going to have my own space and like, you can sleep over.
I need time to be weird and like be ugly and just like eat a whole bag of chips like in my underwear on the couch.
And a gold face mask. No one wants to see that.
Yes.
They want to think you wake up looking like this.
Yeah.
Well, she probably does.
I always say that in order to become a 10, you need to go all the way down to 0. Like you got to get real ugly to be like your hottest.
I'm
like, Kory could see me when I get to 10. Like we don't need to do a process together.
I think after 3, this is my thing. 3 years, then you can start to show them you're crazy. A little. I mean, you can be like the jealousy, crazy. I'm like, I don't care about anything. I'm so great and wonderful, and you can flirt. And then right around 3 years, I'm like,
Yeah. And by that stage, you've worn them down, and they forget how to date or be sexy.
And you own them. So who are you friends with on the cast? Amanda, Lindsay.
Yep. I still talk to Amanda sometimes, and I've seen her a couple times this summer. Same with Paige. Gabby, I hang out with all the time, and we talk all the time. We really bonded from sharing a bed all summer. And I think both being new girls, we had a lot of shared experiences. We call it trauma bonding, where we trauma bonded to each other. Yeah. And Lindsay, I'm super close with Lindsay. We talk all the time. I'm going on her bachelorette trip in a couple weeks. We have a lot of wedding festivities coming up.
So what do you think of Lindsay and Carl? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
I'm making him watch. We watch Housewives. So he's now trying. I'm like, you've got to watch my 2 other favorite shows, Summer House and Below Deck. Those are my shows.
There's so much to watch. I need there to be a public holiday for me
to go through. I mean, it's 1 hour a day. So what do you think of them? Are they madly in love?
I love them, and I think they're madly in love. I think they're great together. A lot of people have said they've had their ups and downs, and Carl wasn't always sober, and Lindsay wasn't always this emotionally mature. But you have to remember, I came in a year ago when Carl was sober. Lindsay acted like a complete grown up last year. I didn't see.
Yeah, I did not recognize her. She was a quick little wifey.
Yeah. People tell me that it's like different vibes than like they're like, if you knew them back when, you would never guess that they'd get married. But now spending time with them and knowing them, I actually can't imagine them with like other people.
Right.
Like I feel like they're made for each other. But again, like I mean, everyone grows and evolves, and I guess I didn't know
I think
Lindsay and Carl pre-Lindsay and Carl.
Yeah, I think that that they're best friends and they've been through trauma. They trauma bonded and they're on the show together. Yeah, they did. And then I think it'll work because I think at the end of the day, like they're a certain age, they're both attractive. They probably want to have D1 athletes for babies.
Yeah.
And why not? Like if I'm like, I don't know, 35 or something, and every kind of love is different. So I feel like they're in love, but it's because of everything they've gone through.
And I think I know who you're talking about because I caught this on the last episode of this season 7 that I just watched.
Yay.
Someone outed him for being sober, right? With a blonde guy. And I thought I could relate. That was really, that was a big moment.
For you?
No, for the show. No, I'm trying to relate.
I mean, everyone knew he was, like, he lost his brother, so it's super sad to, like, overdose.
Oh. Right.
So, yeah, I'm really invested in my shows. And then, he had to find sobriety himself. And then that's when Lindsay and him kind of, like, I feel like he found his person. I don't know that they're, like, butterflies in love, but I feel like they're in it for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. They're going to be great parents. They're going to be a great team to work with. And at the end of the day, don't you want that?
Yeah.
Because you can always fuck a hot guy on the side.
Something I notice all the time, and like I always talk to my friends about, is like we always joke that like Summer House produces more couples than The Bachelor, right? Because like we're so like we've come out with so many couples on this show. But I do think like a huge part of it is, and I'm sure you know what this is like when you're dating people who don't understand reality TV, have never like been around it or care about it or anything, like it's very hard for them to understand what you're going through at any given moment. Like there's such a small, tiny, microscopic percentage of the population who does this, and it's deeply emotional and like transformative for you as a person. And like if you can't talk to someone about it or understand it, then like you're having a little bit of trouble. So I always say like if you watch The Bachelor, people break up from their relationships from the show and then they go around and date each other anyway. Yeah, like they all end up together no matter what.
But I think that like I forgot what I was going to say, but it's going to be really good. Wait, what was I thinking? Oh shit. No, I forgot, but there are
about their bonded trauma and that if they don't have anyone to speak to.
Oh yeah, no. So I have a lot of friends here, but a lot of them aren't in entertainment and they don't understand reality TV. So it's so difficult for me to talk to them about what I'm going through or what happened. So I am very lucky to have like those close friends that I have met from different shows that we can call each other and like they just get it. Because if you're talking to your mom, your brother, your sister, any of your friends, they're like, but why didn't you just, I'm like, oh, never mind.
Right. Like it doesn't work that way. Right. Yeah, and it sounds so logical when they're saying it. You're like, if it were that easy, I probably would have done it already.
Right, exactly. You don't think that you thought of that, but it's not. They are making a television show and they're, contriving a story. And it doesn't matter. It's like I always say, it's what, they leave out, not what they leave in. Because we get to see highlights of, bad behavior. And with you guys, party behavior. I love that they all just get drunk and no one calls them drunks. Whenever I get drunk on camera, everyone's like, oh, she's a drunk. She's a wino. I'm like, no, you just bitches are not. I'm like, you bitches are not drinking because you're pretending like you care so much what other people think.
Oh, it's Summer House. They're supposed to be drinking, right?
I know, but that's the show I want to be on.
Exactly.
By all means, come hang. You sound like, it sounds like we would get along.
Yeah, I get along with most people. Like, I really do until I don't, and then you'll know it. I'm not one of those people that can fake it. But it was so nice talking to you. Are you guys going to do Summer House again?
Maybe. You'll have to watch and find out.
Yeah, they always wait to the last minute to tell the cast, by the way, who's coming, who's going. This is their way.
Yes, week of.
Yeah, because they don't want you to have time to negotiate. So they will tell you the day before. So you can't be like, well,
is that why?
Oh, yeah, honey.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They wait and wait and wait. And they're like, okay, we're starting filming on Tuesday. Are you available? And you're like, I got to call my manager. I got to, like, and they're like, here's what you're getting. It's very,
That's
tricky.
so fucked.
I know, but that's what they do.
Oh my God. It's all like such a mind fuck.
Oh, the whole thing. They like dangle the
It
candy in front of you. Yeah, we might have you back. We might have you back. So don't say anything bad about the show. Let's hear the lollipop. Oh, shoot. We dropped it. Maybe next time.
You feel so special like when you're on these shows, right? Like you feel like people are paying attention to you. You're cool, you're interesting. People want to watch what you're doing. And the second you step out of that world and out of that spotlight, it's pretty dark and cold.
Well, I think with everyone you burn out for a minute, but then you realize it's not the end all be all. You know, I mean, it is hard because it is so like fast and fabulous and wonderful, but at the same time there is a dark side to it. And I think if you just like live in the moment, have a good time, and just be who you are, and I think you're really authentic, then they'll have you back. I mean, they would be stupid not to, especially since you're getting that 11 out of 10 dick. Because we all love Kory.
The 11 out of 10 dick makes for really good like off-camera mic, like hot mic moments.
Yeah. They
No
like have sex in
way.
the bathroom.
Oh my God.
And
I'm going to watch the
you
show
have to watch it.
immediately.
It's like softcore porn.
Oh, I love that.
I love it.
Teasing me. I like that.
Yes. Well, we hope to see you back, and I'm sure you will be back, but it was so nice talking to you. And don't ever let anyone to tell you to shut up.
Thanks. I won't. It was so nice to meet you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Do too.
Nice
And keep
to meet
wearing
you.
bright colors and being you.
Yes.
Promise. Always dress like it's Miami.
Yay, me too. I love her, and she's cute, and she's a little star, and I think that I want to see her on my TV again, especially with Kory, because he's.
Sounds like you're trying to angle to be the third.
We could be a throuple.
Mhm.
They might need a little like older, you know.
Let's see
je
if
ne
she's
sais
into
quoi.
it.
I don't know what that means.
I think you could put it across the line.
Yeah, she's cute.
Let's
All right.
look it.
I think you're a star, Samantha, and you'll be okay. And I can't wait to see you again on my TV. Bye.
Oh, I get it. We were wrapping it up.
That's what we were just doing.
Oh, I was on a totally other thing. I was like, I
He's
told you
new.
I was tired.
He's new.
No, this isn't part of it.
Yes.
Oh, I wanted to do the perfect ending.
Okay, do
I
it.
love
Do
Samantha.
a perfect ending.
Oh my God. She was great. She's so pretty. I want to be her. Actually, for Halloween,
wanna
which is
be
just
her.
coming up, I'm dressing as Samantha
Elsa?
Feher. No, Samantha.
He's obsessed with little blondes, so you're
I can't
in.
believe that she said his dick was an 11.
Yeah.
I
don't know that I would share that because I think that other people would want to jump on that. I'm more of a.
yeah.
I like an 8.
I mean, the curve thing, that was a
Yeah,
curveball.
it hits different.
Okay, so it does. So
The
you
curve
like
thing was a curveball?
See, I'm imagining that the dick being perfect and straight and having, but you're saying that you want it to curve.
Just a little.
Does it curve up, down, sideways?
Well,
like,
it curves
where does it need
curves
to
to the
hit?
left
Okay.
because that's where you want it to hit.
Okay, so your clit's on the left.
The clit's on the outside.
Okay, well, there you go. So I don't understand.
There's a
But anyway,
G-spot
I'm really
in there
happy for
somewhere.
her. I'm happy for her. I had no idea what you guys were talking about, but I love her. And
What a perfect ending. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Brandi Glanville Unfiltered. Download new episodes every week, and if you haven't already, subscribe. And be sure to leave us a rating and review. And while you're at it, check out some of the other great shows available on Straw Hut Media.